Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Howdy, everybody, and welcome to the Apex Racing Academy for the Renault 2.0 Championship here at beautiful, sunny Long Beach, California. I'm Austin Knight. I'm standing by with Sam Fitzpatrick and Marco Barbonera in the production booth. You're here live watching Apex Racing TV.
And it is a season finale as well tonight, round 8 of the championship, and we have got a very close driver's title to decide. And well, what a host for it, Austin. I mean, it can go very badly and very well for you around this circuit. It's going to be a tense affair for Pascal Stix and Carl Winkler because there's just 8 points between them, and oh, that could easily swing. That's pretty much one race win. If Winkler wins both races tonight, he is guaranteed to win the title.
Yeah, Winkler needs to win both. Stix needs to win one and stay with Winkler for one, and it's going to be an absolute crucial races as well. And I said races, and we do not have 3 races today. We have 2.
And it is the 6th car bus for race 2 of the evening. There's the amateur championship. Graham sets it up at the top. Philip Russell, unfortunately, hasn't been able to really sustain a big change. He'll be starting from the pits a couple of times as well. Will Russell tonight. So Glam sets it pretty much got that in the bag. I think his drop score's quite good already anyway. So he probably doesn't even need to turn up tonight, but I'm sure he'll be looking to end it on a high. And yep, good to see Glam sets it up there. Boberg, Vahij and Russell fighting over those top 3 places this time.
Yeah, but for Crips Racing, having 1 and 2 in the AMP Championship right there is a amazing feeling. Yeah, as everyone's taken to the track here at Long Beach, some key points here. That opening sector, extremely tight. That fountain section, yeah, I know these cars are really small. You can fit 2 cars in there, but, you know, there's going to be a big jostling happening around, and it will be a bit crazy. Also, heading into some of these turns, we got some carnage in the fountain section in the background in qualifying. You know, these turns, this is a street circuit. There are massive bumps on these street curbs, and coming out of that first section, that right-hand turn, there's a massive bump at the apex of the corner, and it's very easy to spin out right there. And, you know, we might be seeing some of that. Also, that last hairpin's super tight, very tricky to get right as well. If you're racing in a pack, very easy to make contact with the car in front of you.
Yeah, it sure is. Thank goodness we don't have a rolling start for this series. Will be a standing start for the drivers. It's always a nuisance to get around that area. You see the drivers threading the needle. These are very small single-seater cars. It's a lot better than, say, if maybe a P2 Dallara, for example, or maybe the IR01 machines. They have got a little bit more room, but yeah, should be a bit easier for the drivers as the first times are coming in. Hussein currently at the top and Sticks a bit of catching up to do, but likely that the times will improve as the session goes on.
Yeah, time's definitely going to be improving, you know, as the start of qualifying. We got 10 minutes here in the streets of, well, Long Beach, California. And I gotta say, if you ever go to America to see a street race, I know there's not a lot of street races in America to see. The 3 biggest street races in America are St. Petersburg, Long Beach, and well, it has a 1-year anniversary, Nashville. And those are all also IndyCar races too. I'm showing my bias here.
It would be very nice to visit one of these races. It is
another street circuit. I'm going to cut you off. There is Baltimore Street Circuit as well, which featured. Thankfully, those street circuits have gone back to this method. Train tracks going across the track, and you know, the first year they had that, cars got a bit airborne.
That's a classic YouTube video. I've seen that one, and yeah, craziness. I think that was the 90s, wasn't it? When they first went there. And, was it 2000s?
Yep.
Oh wow, gosh.
Also, a street circuit, air quotes, is the Miami course. Grand
Not a
Prix.
street circuit.
Not a street circuit. But they said it's a street circuit.
It's not a street circuit.
It's a parking lot.
I'm establishing that right now.
It's as much as a street circuit as the Jeddah street circuit is a street circuit.
Yes, yeah. I think that's a good equating. Newman goes to the top ahead of Winkler. Newman usually a bit behind his teammates. Perhaps suggests that course sim racing, or maybe suggests that Winkler and Sticks have got a bit more pace up their sleeve. Or maybe Newman's just got the upper hand. I don't know about you this season, Austin, but I would say Sticks has had the slight advantage on Winkler most of the time. Not every race, and it's not been a big margin. I'd say he's been marginally quicker though than Winkler, but Winkler maybe has avoided as many incidents. Would you agree with that assessment, or do you think maybe it's the other way around?
I believe you're right. Pascal Sticks, the only part of him that we saw the drama-wise was that back in the Nürburgring, where he didn't go to qualifying lap and he started from the back of the grid. Other than that, it's been Pascal Sticks and Winkler up at the front all the time. It's just that, you know, Carl Winkler, like you were saying, he's had more incidents as well. I remember back in the first round, it was Sticks up at front and Winkler, he got onto the yellow curb on the outside of turn 1 and he went spinning into the wall. And that pretty much sealed, well, that point deficit that we had. And we've kind of just been running in the same route that we are right now. But yeah, I believe that assessment is right by you.
while Winkler's going back out on circuit now, because the drivers have to complete their lap times before the 10 minutes are out. Also, Sandstrom getting out. Boba currently top of the amateur drivers. We have got a fair few more drivers in this session. We've got 17 around tonight, which is really good, considering that we're down to about 13 at Barcelona. Clearly, people just hate Barcelona, as Styx goes to the top. Excellent time there for him with the 17-1. And yeah, people despise Barcelona. People like Long Beach though, so we've got a good turnout tonight for the final round of the season in a car which has provided some great action and weird, super weird draft model there. So I mean, it's an absolute, you know, binary on-off switch whether or not you have the draft. So that's a little bit glitchy, but it's still a lot of fun to drive. I think these guys have had a lot of fun. And we'll see how this evening turns out as more now because line improves but stays.
Yeah, improvements, jumps up into 9th place. But yeah, a lot, you know, it's very close to the top. Look at all the pros within 8/10 of each other. Then the top 4 are within 3/10 of each other. Then look at the gap from the back. Oh, that's a spin in the background. Coming underneath the convention center bridges, and this is a very common Long Beach method. Going extremely wide in the hairpin to get an amazing run up down the front straight here at Long Beach. And Carl Winkler trying to gain any bit of advantage he can. Currently 2/10 down here as he's trying to chase down his championship rival, Pascal Styx, who's sitting up there at the front. Taking a look at our amateur championship leader, Christian Glamstetter. He's currently setting his first lap. He already has the lap on the board of a 15:38.2, but that lap was an out lap. The only reason why I count it is because his pit stop is was behind the start finish line, so he crossed him when he was coming out. And that first lap puts him into 2nd place in the AMs.
I could ride on board with Winkler for the rest of this lap because he's just put in the fastest first sector of anyone. His 2nd sector time isn't anything too special. Oh, he gets a massive slide on. Is he going to hit the wall while the lap gone?
Oh,
I think
yes, he does. He just tapped the wall.
With that one, and yeah, he was all over the place. He lost the time. He probably picked up a 0x, as you say, Austin. And he will be bitterly disappointed that one because it was the fastest first sector of anyone. It looked like a good 2nd sector, 12.10. It was a very short 2nd sector round. There's that 4 sectors in all, and we didn't see how good that 3rd sector was lining up. So huge shame there for Carl Winkler. And well, if Styx can maintain this position, I'll have to get the point sheet up. I believe if Styx was able to win race 1 and Winkler was in 3rd, that would be enough for Styx to take the championship lead. However, of course, we do have the reverse grid, so, you know, if Winkler does finish behind Styx in race 1, at least he'll start ahead in race 2. I think what we want, Austin, is just a straight fight. We want it to be even on points heading into race 2, and whoever wins out of the 2 of them will win the title.
Absolutely. You know, it'll be a straight battle to the end and a battle to decide the championship, and then a perfect world. Now we are not perfect over here, but you know, it all has to be decided on race number 1 with Pascal Styx having a position advantage over his championship rival Winkler. But you know, anything can happen. Turn 1, we could have a lockup behind them, and you know, Styx could be taken out right there, and Winkler could take the win with Styx finishing at the back, and then the entire championship would just be all up in smokes. But hey, what's not up in smokes right now is our current qualifying order, and there are no rear wing infringements to take this pole position away for Pascal Styx. He'll be starting up on pole, followed by Sven Newman, Carl Winkler, Navidi Hussein, Jesper Sandstrom, and Luke Barr at the back of the pros, followed by Rickard Bauber, Christian Glamstetter, Jack Reeve, Andy Moore, and Hans Verreij. Sebastian Morin in 12th place, followed by Philip Russell, Aaron Smith, Lars Fungelord, Paul Clothier, and Sean Shipley at the back of our 17-car grid here at Long Beach.
Just a reminder, 8 points the difference in the championship, and a race win in this series is worth 70 points. 2nd place is worth 63. You also get a bonus point for getting 0 incidents, and it is very easy, maybe not easy, but it's very possible at least, to get 0 incidents around this track, because you can imagine there's no off tracks, and even if you skim the wall, you only get a 0x. So that I mean, we could literally. I mean, if we could literally be going into race 2 with the points absolutely even. Of course, it's Winkler and Sticks we have to keep an eye on, and I wonder what's going to be going on with Sven Newman here, because of course he is the teammate to the pair of them. He doesn't really want to make a decisive factor, but I mean, would he let pass Winkler if needed to? Surely that would help Winkler and harm Sticks. I mean.
In the entertainment-wise, I would say pull off to the right and let them pass and just hold off everybody else. In his own mind, though, he's in here to race, and he knows his 2 championships are fighting for the championship. So I believe he should be letting them by, and just letting them fight off. But hey, sometimes you want to make a statement. We're going to find out right here. It's the season finale here at Long Beach of the Apex Racing Academy for the Renault 2.0 series. And it's green here at Long Beach. And it's a terrible start by Carl Winkler. It's an amazing start by Sticks and Newman, who peel off the line. And look, they've already got about 3 car length advantage right here. And Winkler has got a little bit of traffic right behind him. Looking down to the inside. That's the Doctor looking down, heading into turn 1. Late on the brakes goes the Doctor, heading up the inside of Carl Winkler, forcing him out to the wall, almost hitting the outside barrier right there. So going side by side to the fountain, but it is Winkler down to the inside. Side by side, they go through the fountain section right there. Sticks Newman to Winkler, 1, 2, 3, followed by Hussein Farm, Sandra Bomber, Glam Center, Barrage, and Clovier, your top 10 as they come out of the first sector. And, you know, now we get into the thick of things. And here come the cars that were serving a pit lane start here for race 1.
Yeah, so the only no changes in the top 4. Barb gets ahead of Sasha. Those two are very close into the fountain section. But yeah, despite that poor start from Winkler, Hussein wasn't able to make a move, and they left good space for one another through that narrow turn 1. And no gaps forming early on. Lars Fuglerud is round and will drop off the back of the train. Clothier up to 10th place. He, I don't think, set a qualifying time. He did start from the grid though, so he's technically up 6 places, but yeah, decent for him. And still Boberg leading lap center in the amateur class. As we see this train of cars, crucially Newman still within 0.6 of a second. And remember, in these cars, if you're within 0.6, you get the draft. If you're more than 0.7 of a second, you get no draft. So it's really important to keep the interval around that region.
Yeah, the draft and you know, spacing between the cars is really important. Because you know that long front straight here at Long Beach, it's in the name, it's very long and crucial right here. And Sven Newman, well, playing the devil's advocate here for Carl Winkler, and ooh, that is a front wing missing, or bent by Sean Shipley, and this is what happened to Sean heading into turn 1. Is this a single car accident? Ooh, yes,
maybe
it is.
Seeing his brothers in the harbour. For them. Another ship pun.
Ready to seize it out on a high.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best, honestly. Really,
I think that's the second ship pun you've ever made. And to be fair, I made a horrible bee pun the other day, so you're good. So you got a slow car on the inside.
No, that's Vahish, and he needs the points for he's close to Boberg in the amateur championship. Yeah,
Vahish might have hit the wall. Ooh, very tight off the exit, read around the outside. There's Vahish heading into the pit lane. Oh yeah, that steering angle was not straight.
Maybe one of the rear tires. I think he.
Yeah, I think heading into that final braking zone, he might have clipped the outside wall, because the rear tire does stick out a little bit more. Got right up to the wall, just tapped it on the back end. Oh my god!
That great demonstration.
Yeah, good demonstration of tapping it against the wall, but that was not a tap. That was more like an absolute slam into the wall right there. And that's Jack Reeve in the pits.
We'll get a replay. This one's so easy to do into turn 1. You can brake early here, time after time, and then you just maybe go 10 meters further, and you get into that wall. Of course, the tire barrier kind of sticks out and can kind of grab you. But Reeve was, as you were saying, really heavy into that. He was not close to making that corner, honestly, and made heavy contact. Now got more in. He starts upon the pits versus Smith, who also starts upon the pits, and seemingly Smith has got quite a bit more speed. He's not fully committing to this move there, tries to leave a bit of space. I think Aaron has got that one stuck. He sure had He's up into 11th place.
Yeah, great move by Smith right there. He got into that draft. He looked out to the inside, and he had that move made. It was very close to the start. Here's Sebastian Morin, who was right behind this absolutely massive hit. And you're going to see he's sliding already. He was out of control heading in there.
Oh,
and
he's
he
got
somehow... No, he does not have damage. On your part, he has damage, but on mine, he doesn't. But, you know, as we said, he might actually have damage.
I know. Well, visually, I don't see damage, but I don't see how you can make that amount of contact and not have damage.
Okay, so on your screen, he made contact. On my screen, I just got the iRacing bent wing, and then it went back to normal.
Oh, I heard the crunches. I got the iRacing crunches on my end.
No, I commentated with sound off, so I can focus more on your puns.
Well, yep, you need to...
And so I stopped screaming into the microphone.
They're very high IQ jokes, so I understand why you need to put all your concentration into it. Morin concentrating on this move where he got overtaken on the last lap. Actually, he's trying to do the same thing. They're both locking up.
Oh, he's trying to hold around the
time
outside
for one another, and this is where you don't want to go alongside, but will Morin stick it up the inside? Well,
Oh,
Smith
Smith's
just
locked
missed
up.
the corner, and he's done well not to hit the wall, and Morin is ahead. But now, Smith has the luxury of that very strong draft.
And with these two fighting, look who's behind him. Russell is right there, but here comes Smith on the attack once more. Morin going down to the inside, Russell looking on to the outside right now, side by side, past Pine Avenue they go. Hard onto the brakes. Smith had the lead, but it's Morin sending it to the corner and cutting the nose off of Aaron Smith, and that is deadly for Aaron Smith. Smith had the lead heading into the corner. Sebastian Morin sent the car through there and cut off the nose of Aaron Smith, and I think that caused a spin to see right there. Ooh, took all the downforce away from the front nose of Aaron Smith's car. I don't believe there was contact right there. And I think this blocking out all the front wing just really took all the downforce away and just made him spin right there.
This is very close. Winkler's dropped out of the draft range of Newman, and Hussein's going to have a great opportunity at making this pass. This is huge for the championship. 3 points on offer here, and Winkler needs to try to keep this position if he possibly can. But there's the door open there for Hussein, and he does eventually go for it. This is almost a carbon copy of how they were on lap 1, but this time Winkler is able to respond, and Hussein, honestly, with not a whole lot of resistance, is up into 3rd place, and that extends Pascal Stick's championship lead. Oh, he's hit the wall though, Hussein.
Oh, yeah, that's a tap of the wall right there, and Hussein is going to be dealing with a little bit of tweakiness right there, but hey, it's just a tap of the wall. It's not the end of the world right there. It doesn't look like he's damaged anything, but with Hussein being there, he's holding up Winkler, and Winkler needs to get up and go right here. It's a 25-minute race, so it's a little bit longer, but, you know, they need to work together if they want to catch up to Sticks and Newman. But, you know, Newman, he's not going to really be pressuring Sticks that much. He's just going to be staying back here and letting Sticks lead this. And Hussein, though, he's going to try to upset the system right here and get a great position as well because, you know, it's Long Beach. It's very prestigious. Hosted F1s, hosted IndyCar, it's hosted IMSA, and yeah, it's very, very famous track. And oh, Morin looking up the inside, and now he's around the outside right now, and they made contact mid-corner, heading into the hairpin. Morin and Clothier contact. Oh no! Looks like Paul got a little bit loose right there and got into the side of him, but no damage that I can see. But here comes Paul around the outside right now.
Clothier had a poor lap a couple of laps ago, hence why Morin's been able to catch up. And he is usually half a second to a second a lap faster anyway, and he doesn't eventually make that move stick. If this race will continue as it is, Stick's 8-point disadvantage will turn into an 8-point advantage. It's a very steep point scoring system that we use in the Apex Racing League series, and it's going to enable this type of a situation where it comes down to, well, not necessarily comes down to the final race, but it rewards the race wins a lot more. It's not just about consistency, you do need those race wins, and by winning this race, Sticks, yeah, would take an 8 points advantage going into race 2, but would start 3 places lower for that race 2, as Newman is one the judge, and he could go for a move here, but we're not sure what the antics are for the course sim racing guys.
He's not
going to overtake, is he? He's going
yeah, no, he's leaving a good space right there. He's getting close, and well, Paul is well, looking a little bit squirrely right there. He's definitely made contact with something, and I think it's going to be the outside wall. Well, it was the outside wall. It was not how I was expecting it to be. Locked up the brakes, an absolute spinning it around right there, and I hope a tofu shop is watching this, because Paul Clothier is really controlling a car that is pointed sideways right now, and you know, if you got Eurobeat playing right now, this fits so well.
Not sure what you're talking about, honestly.
Wow, man. Okay.
Sorry.
Marco and I just both are now just staring down Sam right here, and Sam's gonna be taught a lesson between
So
the
you say
intermission.
Eurobeat?
Eurobeat.
Yeah. No idea. Viewers,
All
if
right.
you've got an idea, let us know in the chat.
All right. Well, before I just start making massive initial D references, let's go back to the race.
Again, Newman. Oh, that's a big side, isn't it? The stick shows how much he's pushing. And Hussein is catching up to these guys little by little, but it's only about 1/10 of a second. But that's still 15 more minutes to go. Of course, we've got used to in recent weeks the 15-minute races when it comes to the 3-race format, but just the 2 25-minute races. Actually having 3 race starts here at Long Beach. 2 is, well, 1 is plenty enough, and 2 is probably a crowd, honestly, but yeah, avoiding too many of them. And so there's still plenty of time for Hussein to make up that gap, as again, he is running closer than anyone else, I think, is the Irishman, very close to the wall once more.
Yeah, they're both getting out all the way to the wall, but Hussein is really pushing that car, and he's actually dropping Winkler. Winkler, I think, is struggling around here. I think Winkler might have tapped the wall, but he didn't see it that lap, because he has been falling away, and I won't be surprised if Winkler might have a little bit of damage.
His last lap was matching the leaders. We'll see what this lap is. It's actually
It's
faster. So Winkler was very quick that last. Here comes Newman. Is he going to go for the lead here? This is not.
Yes, he is.
What's going to happen between the 2 teammates? Sticks just about stays ahead, but that's what we want to see, because we want a fight between these 2 drivers. We want to see Sticks under some pressure, and that was mighty close between the 2 of them. Sticks stays ahead, but Newman is up for this fight.
Well, there are certainly no team orders out here right now, and Will Ryan, who is in our YouTube chat, he's usually racing in the series, but he decided to take this one out.
Car.
As that is a...
Shipley.
Shipley. Again, looks like he is heading back to the harbor this time. I think this is going to be another spin underneath braking. Well, it's off the exit, but it's very easy, and that's a massive hit right off the exit of the racing line. But yeah, looks like Shipley is heading back to the harbor. And now I'm doing it.
Put out the anchors soon enough there. The anchors are the greats, I mean. I think that's enough of a metaphor.
Well, look at this train. It's now a 3-car fight for the lead. Hussein is within a second of these 2. And look who's behind them, as here comes Newman. Once again, this time he's going to try to round the outside of Sticks, but Sticks holding the inside line, but Newman's in the lead! And look at behind him, there's a doctor in second place!
Amazing stuff. That's again, he's clipping all the walls. There's not a wall he hasn't hit so far tonight. It's absolutely incredible from him. As we got that set back to the pits, he's got the championship lead, remember, but he should be all right on points. Honestly, yeah, just needs to, doesn't even need to get any points tonight. He should be fine. But well, what an effort there from Newman to go round the outside, and that does change the championship up a little bit. Now, if it ended as it is going, I believe Styx would have a 1-point advantage in the championship going into race 2. But he's staying very close, isn't he? If you're within 4 tenths coming out of the hairpin, I think you've got a very good chance at an overtake. How far behind is Styx this time?
Damn.
That's about 5 tenths.
Styx is already leading the championship.
Yes.
So what you just said made no sense.
I don't think it did. No. Wait, what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You said
I'll do the points today.
if Styx finished in right here, he'd be ahead by 1 point. He's already ahead by 8.
Okay, be ahead by 15, then I think.
I believe so. I just know that Styx was already ahead of Winkler.
Points are already confusing us.
Let's bring up the points. There we go.
Here
Thank
we
you,
go.
Marco.
Excellent stuff. I think I've been getting that all wrong all night. But 8 points then. Okay. So yeah, would be 17 then going into race 2. So Winkler really needs to overtake him, basically.
Winkler needs to win this race, like we've been saying since the start. But
Yeah.
you know, he's at the back of the streetcar train. What he can hope for is Hussein causing a little bit of chaos up here. But Styx with him being in second place behind his teammate now, and he's got Newman right there. They're coming up the lap traffic as well. This could get pretty spicy very soon because we know the Doctor. He can get very racy, and you know he can make contact with Styx if he's not looking forward to it. We still got 10 minutes of racing left here. And oh, that's a crash in the hairpin. That's Barb.
And that could affect who gets reverse good pole. Sandstrom moves past. And as Barb got too much damage, he's going to try to stick it out. As he ended up here, he must have lost the rear end.
Locked the brake. Just locked the brake. I think might have just gone onto the raised curbs. I think.
It was a combo of our what we said.
Just riding on the curbs. There's no grip on that inside line. If you get on the brakes right there, you know, the back end can go out pretty easily. Coming out of the first sector, they're closing in on the 297 ahead of them. And, you know, this lap car could cause a little bit of problems right there. That's Hans. And, you know, this is going to be on the run-up heading into the final sector. And Newman, oh, there he goes. He pulls off onto the inside right there. Way onto the inside. He's leaving a lot of space. Ooh, that's more. Adding another car into the wall. And there's Winkler getting past Hans right there. What's happened to Andy? Got turn 1. Oh, the back end catches him out right there. And, oh, he's avoided that.
He's done well.
Yeah, he's done a great job to avoid making contact with the wall. Here's Hans just letting everyone by. I wasn't sure if Carl Winkler was going to get past to him, but you know, Hans, he saw that was a top 4. They're all really close to each other. Sandstrom?
Yeah, Sandstrom's now coming to the pits. I'm not sure what's happened to him, whether he's...
well,
already he's lost the front wing.
Yeah, that wing's bouncing around right there. And, oh, we got contact to the wall. That's part of the wall. I'm not sure who that was. It's Lars.
Sandstrom in the pits for 7 seconds. He took a little while there. Did Sandstrom continue just need to pick up the faster
Might
one?
have
Maybe may have unchecked it. Yeah, that would be about the time it takes to change a front wing. That was the only damage he sustained as Hussein understeering out. That was scary stuff.
You know,
He's got the least to lose across out of all these guys.
Almost lost it right there as well under braking, but you know, Hussein, he's got a good show in front of him right now. He just needs to put together these corners, and you know, he's got Winkler right behind him. So we look back at the part of Styx, their championship leaders. We look back at Sven Newman, and we just see the top 4 nose and tail right here. There's a lot of space in between them right here, but right now they're just playing it safe. They know that they got a little bit more time. Like I've been saying throughout most of the season, it's the first few minutes of this race are everyone getting into their spots and you know, breaking away from the pack, and then the last 5 minutes when they really get crazy. You know, we really don't have to say much about that because, you know, I can just point to the Monza race and everything just went absolutely nuts right there.
Yeah, highlight of the season, I think. Me?
Highlight of the season and the point where I think I broke about 3 viewers' headsets.
Yeah. I'm sure the drivers would have been breaking their headsets, throwing them in frustration because everyone was fairly annoyed. With,
Jack Reeve was not annoyed. Jack Reeve was
Jack Reeve was the only one. He was
now Jack Reeve is going to be annoyed with this result because we saw him get caught up into the outside wall right here. Sven Newman is on another lap as we start lap 15 right now here in our 25-minute race, heading onto Aquarium Way and over in Justice Mountain. Beautiful fountain, by the way. Shame some people in iRacing have tried jumping it with super trucks, but I think all those rascals have been stopped.
Yep, there's a lot of work that goes into those virtual plants. So yeah, we don't want to see them too hurt. By the way, quick shout out to Apex Racing Academy, who are one of the title sponsors for this series. And Apex Racing Academy have very kindly offered a 1-month free subscription to Apex Racing Academy for each of the drivers who sign up to this series, which is an awesome offer because you get setups designed by Peter Bayman. You can also go to group coaching sessions with him, and they also get access to lots of other cars as well, 28 other cars, ranging from GTs, touring cars, prototypes, and even rallycross cars as well. So do check out apexracing80.com. Big thanks to them for supporting the series and also offering lots of prizes worth about 500 quid, I think. The prizes Apex Racing Academy are offering to the top drivers and teams. As I'm not sure if Bob just had a spin there, or maybe he was just going out the hairpin. Always looks a little bit slow. I think he's all right in 5th place.
Yeah, Barb, you know, the 118.6, I think he's just got a little bit wild off the exit, but you know, it was a good time by him. Everyone's in that 118 round. Pascal Sticks last time by did a 117.98, fastest of our top 4. As things are still going pretty well out here. Newman Sticks, that's a spin by Barb, and no one can deny that, and that is front wing damage as well.
Pointing straight at base paper, could be up into 5th position. I think that'd be his best ever result in an Apex Racing League event. Doing very well is the Swedish driver, and yeah, I don't think Barb's going to be able to hang on to this one. I think that damage is too severe. Bobo's going to have a vacant chance.
I've been told to eat the mic, so I'm sorry, but you know, someone said they couldn't hear me. As this is Rick Bropper looking around the outside. He's already got race 2 pole position as that's Barb on his inside line. Trying to hold around the outside. Barb defending very well. Right there. Ooh, mistake right there in the braking zone. Trying to hold it around the outside, but he locked up the brakes and he had to go wide, but that's going to give him a better exit. Heading down the front straight.
It's easy to do at the hairpin there, where you try to kind of square it off a bit, and you end up just losing yourself time by turning in too late. But he's got so much overspeed down the straight, and that's because of the damage for the Frenchman Boberg around the outside.
Oh, but that inside line is so good.
Defending, and 2 minutes to go. They've got a couple more laps, a couple more attempts for Boberg to overtake it. And I still put him as the big favourite, but he's just got to make sure he stays fairly close to the corners and then make a real committed move at the end of the straight heading into the braking zone.
Yeah, but I also want to highlight Barb's damage because it's very unique in the wing damage spectrum of wing damage. Because usually you see the end plates having damage. This is a completely different one. The front wing is actually crunched inward, and it's making this arced kind of shape. Now, if you look at Bobber's wing, it's very flat on the front, and then Barb's wing is very crooked in the middle, but look at that. Bobber down to the inside and up into 5th place. Now, Barb's trying to hold it around the outside of Rickard. It's not going to be there, but you can get a good comparison of the wing angles right there. That front wing crunched in is really hurting Barb. And, you know, Bobberg up into 5th place. And he is feeling great right there.
Yeah, and I would say that Ricard is one of the most improved drivers in this series. I'd maybe go so far as saying he is the most improved. Had a good F3 season in Season 3, I believe. Ooh, we got Barb into the wall again, and that's surely going to deny him reverse grid pole, but he's somehow still going. At least for him, he'd only lose it to his teammate, which sure there's no one else he'd rather lose it to, as Sandstrom passing more. I think more might have some damage because he seems to be struggling down the down the straights.
No damage I can see.
Past, as we've got 15 more seconds on the clock. We'll just about make one more lap then, but well, these four just kind of plodding away from one another. What a driver this can spend even. He, throughout the season, hasn't had the pace of his teammates in the former Sticks and Winkler, but tonight he has, well, truly got the edge on them. Really good performance.
Yeah, very fantastic performance by Sven Newman to really, you know, we thought he was going to be playing a part in this and, you know, was just going to let them by. Well, he let them by and have their own fight. He just did that by passing Pascal Sticks, and now he's leading this fight. There's a little traffic off the exit right now, but it's a white flag for race number 1 here. Up to, for our finale at Long Beach. Newman, Sticks, Hussein, and Winkler, our championship rivals, Sticks and Winkler. That gap will be building right here with Sticks currently in 2nd place and Winkler in 4th place right here. And that's going to be great news if you're Pascal Sticks. Not if you're Carl Winkler right now, but, you know, the person with the best result right here who is still pulling away from them, even with the draft behind him, because Sven Newman is just on fire right here. 1 corner to go. And don't mess up that last corner. There you go, buddy. Taking race number 1 of the final round. It's going to be the 1-1-1 of Sven Newman.
Excellent work, and that means that Sticks 8 points advantage as Morin has got past Barb, it seems, for reverse good pole. But yeah, Sticks 8 points advantage. It becomes a 17-point advantage by scoring 63 points to Winkler's 54 on that occasion. So, well, it would need quite a swing. He'd need to win race 2 with Winkler, with his rival Dan in 5th for that to change hands in race 2. As here comes Boberg, one of his best ever performances, I think, in this series, to finish in 5th place comfortably, top of the amateurs. And Marin does beat Barb. Both those Q's sim racing cars had pretty miserable races there, but Marin does get reverse grid pole.
Yeah, well, fantastic first race. We are on board for a great second race here to end out the season. And we'll be right back here for the Apex Racing Academy Formula Renault 2.0 Championship here from Long Beach after this short break. And we are back for the second race here of, well, the final race here of our illustrious Apex Racing Academy for the Renault 2.0 championship here at Long Beach. And it is going to be a very fantastic finale. You know, we've had 8 total rounds here this season, and now, you know, here we are at the end, Sam.
Yeah, always quite a mixed emotions, isn't it? Fortunately, we have got a new single-seater series coming back, so, you know, whilst this season is coming to an end soon, we are going to have the 5th season of the Apex Racing Academy Formula 3 Virtual Racing School Super Series running the Dallara Formula 3 car. That starts in 1 fortnight time, so if you want to, and a fortnight, by the way, I'm not sure if everyone uses fortnights, but that is 2 weeks time. Is that series, same format to this championship, and yeah, the last couple of seasons that have been really good, particularly last season. We had 30 odd drivers for most of the rounds, I believe. So do go to apexracingleague.com in order to sign up to that. You can also check out our other series, our MX5 series, our GT3 series, also our NASCAR B-Class Championship. We've got prototypes. That was an amazing first round on Friday, and of course, yeah, the new F3 Championship. So do check out apexracingleague.com for sign-up details for that, as the drivers are having a little bit of a warm-up. And once again, just to reiterate, the championship situation is 17 points. Both Winkler and Styx got the bonus points for 0 incidents, so that didn't play a part. And so, really, for Winkler to win the championship, he kind of needs to win this race. If he wins, he gets 70 points, and then he'd need to rely on Styx finishing down in 5th, which is worth 51 points. So keep that in mind. We kind of need that 1st and 5th scenario in order for this championship to turn.
Yeah, Carl Winkler, you know, we see him right now putting in times and trying to improve that. But, you know, Sam, I don't think Fortnite means what it used to mean now. I think it just means horrible dances and kids raging at a computer now. But now that I actually know what it means for the first time.
You didn't know what? Wow! And you see, that's mind-boggling to me because it's such it's used so often in the UK. Honestly.
Fourth night.
No. Just Fortnite. It's just 2 weeks.
Oh, without the H. Okay, Marco
without
just
the H.
made me sound like I had the massive lisp. There's always a moment in every broadcast. And I thought it was when Sam didn't know what an initial D was.
Yeah,
but here we are. Final grid. Final grid of these championships. Sebastian Morin starting up on pole with Rickard Bobberg starting up there in 2nd place. Carl Winkler needs to win this race, and Pascal Styx staying in his 5th spot if he wants to win this championship. Followed by the Doctor in 4th place. Pascal Styx starting in 5th. Any position higher than that, he will pretty much seal up his championship. He's followed by Sven Newman, who took a very good race, number 1, and a win, followed by Luke Barr, Philip Russell, Jesper Sandstrom, Andy Ward, Christian Glansander, Hans Verudge, Blanc Lothier, Sean Shipley, Lars Fungalord, Aaron Smith, and Jack Reeve. At the end of our 17-car grid, it's time to end this season out with a bang. And, you know, I feel the tension in the air. Let's get ready to rumble here at Long Beach, as it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and it's green here, and oh, already hot. It was that was the Doctor pulling off to the left, having a horrible start right there, and it's the teammates are all 1, 2, and 3 right now. Heading into turn 1, the Doctor looking up to the inside, very far down, sending up onto the inside. That's Carl Winkler up into 2nd place.
And Styx crucially managing to get through Boberg, a bit of a roadblock, honestly, there for Newman. He gets bogged down behind it. It was Hussein, as you're saying, with a dreadful start. So it's a decent start for Winkler, but it's a great start for Styx because he's in championship winning position, and if he can just stay where he is right now, he will be guaranteed that title. But Marine gets away cleanly. We've got a spin in the background. That's Jack Reeve, who's had an absolutely miserable round. Russell already gets past him despite starting from the pits. And Newman is the next to pass Boberg, who is just letting past these pros. We've seen such a big chasm this season between the pros and the AMs, and Boberg at the top of the AMs, but he knows he's not going to be able to keep these guys behind, and he's just letting them go in these early stages.
That's a smart move by Bobber, because there's a massive gap after that spin at the start. Well, right there, and oh no! That Sandstrom spun around right there, and I thought for a second that was Bobberg, and I was going to be really eating my words right there. That would have been the worst curse, but bad start by Sandstrom, and that's going to be the end of his race, I believe. Pulling off and towing into the pit lane. So back for a fight from the front. Warren and Winkler. 1 and 2 right now. Sticks in third as Glamsetter is falling down the field.
Glamsetter's up. I think Glamsetter's doing all right, up a couple of places into.
Okay, it was Lars. It was Lars who has towed, and I think he glitched ahead of Glamsetter, and you know, it's just I thought Glamsetter was falling. Okay.
It can be very odd, the pit lane around this circuit. Sometimes drivers go 2 laps down when they're towing back. Clothier though gets him past Glamsetter, at least defending from Glamsetter. But this is looking very tight because Winkler's definitely got the pace advantage on Morin. Morin was not as fast as the core guys earlier on, as Verheij makes a big impact into the wall. And well, he's lost a corner, that guy. He'll do well to get it in, as Hussein is around, and that's very important because that is a potential driver who could have beaten Sticks, who is already out of the running. So this race just gets better and better for Pascal Sticks right now. And here it was from Hussein outbreaking himself, and in fact he nearly ran into Newman just in front and had to bail out of the corner.
Yeah, him and Newman are so close right there in the braking zone. Let's take another replay of this right now. Riding on board of Newman, looking back at Hussein. Just look at Hussein, the closest speed. Oh my gosh. Oh man, if you were Sven Newman, if you were looking in your rearview mirror right there, you would be panicking.
And Newman's actually got past Sticks then. So Newman's been able to wedge himself in the middle of those two, but it doesn't matter for Sticks. He just needs to stay in 4th place. He's got Barb a couple of seconds behind him, and we know that Barb really isn't as quick as these guys tonight. So the Cube Sim Racing guys just don't seem to have the pace that they need. And here was the move. And you know, Austin, I'm a championship winner. We all know this. Multiple 3-time championship winner, but you know, I don't like to mention it a whole lot. And you know, when it comes to the last race, even you just want to finish when you got that title. Even if you don't need to finish, you really don't want to end it on a bad note.
Yeah, we've heard the stories.
Chronicles, I've heard some people call it.
Yeah.
All the genres in one. What are those titles?
But yeah, thanks. You do have some great insight on what goes through the mind of a championship-winning driver. When I did my karting championships, and then won my 2 karting championships, my mind was, you know, you were finishing, but the way that I was racing, I was just always finishing the top 5 and just focusing on being consistent and not actually winning the races, just staying up there with everybody else because, you know, karts can be pretty crazy at times with changing conditions and everything. So that was my mind. I just always need to be ahead of the person in 2nd place, and that's what I always did. And that was always going through my head. And even if you have a 8-point lead all the way up to a 70-point lead, you're still always focusing where is 2nd place on.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, Sticks will be very aware of what's going on with Winkler. Barb has had a problem though. So Barb, he was sort of in these guys' region, has made a mistake.
He's locked up.
He's behind Boberg. Fortunately, I don't think he's got much damage, but he's still losing time, so he might do. Still no change for the lead. Winkler very close. Oh, is he going to miss
Winkler's
the
locked
corner?
up.
And Winkler is now alongside Sticks, who's going to go ahead. Winkler does go ahead. Newman up into second place. And that was very similar to what Hussein did earlier on, outbraking himself, or at least unexpected, or surprised how early the car had braked. And Sticks had no interest in fighting that one. Doesn't need to be so.
Yeah, Sticks doesn't need to beat him because Winkler needs to win this race, and all Sticks needs to do is finish in 4th place or higher to win. And no matter what, he will win that championship unless he gets into an incident. And there could be the odd incident in the room where they both get into contact right there, but that would both throw them both out of the race, but it would still give Sticks the championship. And we almost saw that right there.
Yeah.
With a almost accidental contact right there, but both of them were thinking on top of toes. But you can see Winkler is pushing a lot of oversteer off the exit right there. And Pascal Sticks in the draft of his teammate and championship rival. As it's Sebastian Morin still leading out Newman. It's a 1-2 race at the start of the field.
I wonder if we get a replay of what happened to Clothier a couple of laps ago, because he was running, I think, in 8th place, and he's now dropped down. By the way, Fuglerid doing really well up there in 8th place. He had a really tricky race 1, didn't seem to be getting on with this track at all. But since then, in race 2, he's been much better. There was the mistake from Clothier, and he was just ahead of Glamsetter at the time, so that he was running in 7th as a gamer alongside. And Winkler's having to go defensive. Sticks around the outside, he'll have the inside for the next corner, and this is even just cementing his championship advantage. He's up to 3rd.
And in the background, I don't know if you saw it, there was a car that spun coming out of that first sector. I'm not sure who it was, though, that did spin around. It was more of a blue car. I think it might have been Mirage, but I'm not 100% sure. No, it wasn't Paul.
We're going to see a move here at the end of the back straight. Well, the front straight, so.
Oh, here we go. It's Newman looking for the second win. Trying to clear the checkered flags here. The 111 looking around the outside, and they make contact. No! And they both crash out. And Sticks and Winkler are now fighting for the lead.
Well, Marina's been able to at least escape damage, I think. And, well, was there movement from Sticks to the outside, or did he stay straight?
There was a little bit of move, but the contact right there to Sven really hurt him. But I think that also gave damage as well to Sebastian as well, because he did spin off the exit, but I think that just upset his car. Here's the move by Sebastian. He moves the car just a little bit over to the right and then net codes him, but he does spin and gets his car clear, parks it on the brakes, and lets the championship fighters fight through. Now for the lead of the race, and oh my gosh.
This race couldn't have really gone much better for Sticks, honestly, because he had a few drivers who he kind of thought might be able to, get between him and Hussein, get between him and Winkler. You had Morin was driving very well, to be fair, and maybe could have done that. Barb made a mistake, of course. Hussein made a mistake very early on, and then of course you had Newman as well being taken out on that occasion, and Sandstrom as well with that spin on lap 1. So he's almost been gifted the race win. Only really had to pass, the race lead at least. Only had to really pass Winkler, but that is how he would have liked it. Now we get a straight fight between these two for the race win. Won't be for the title necessarily, but would be for honour's sake. I mean, if you're anyone, but if these guys weren't teammates, Winkler would just be like diving it up the inside and trying to force Sticks.
I wouldn't say that. It's a 25-minute race. You got 15 minutes left. If you're crazy, you would try that, but crazy can only work so many times before you know, you end your race buried into the side of the wall and getting yelled at by every other driver.
You're gonna lose the championship anyway. I mean, you dive, you force the other driver into the wall, and then, you know, hopefully you survive and they, you know, retire, and then you win the title. I mean, but
get
of course their
protested by the
teammates, they won't
stewards.
do that. Yes, yeah. That's a point.
And I want to bring this up to you because you are you have stewarded this league before, multiple ARL leagues. What would the situation be if we see a driver getting into contact with the championship rival, and they continue on, but their rival who is ahead of them crashing out and not finishing the race? What would the decision be on that if it was a on-purpose move?
I think if it was on purpose, that would be a disqualification. But, you know, if you go for a dive, and, you know, as long as you're not, like, turning into them, it's very tricky to judge something as intentional. If you're just, you know, oh, wow, okay, that's a big hit for yeah. And of course, also what you got to remember is good news for Styx is that his job score is very good. His job score is like 115 points. So if he did crash out, then you'd still have that job score as backup. As wow, that was
That's a massive
very big hit for him. And then of course the drivers, maybe, you know, a standard penalty would probably be 2 license points and 5 penalty points. But 2 license points at the last round of meeting, because of course you can't serve a pit lane start. That would actually be worth 20 penalty points. That's quite a big margin. So you really don't want to be picking that up. But yeah, I mean that's what I'd be doing. But you know, driving very aggressively. But I don't think there's any worry with these guys. I think for Styx have got a good attitude between the two.
So if you're listening here, Sam's fighting you for the title. He might try to crash you out.
Gets out of the way. Yeah. You've heard me now. I've got insider knowledge of the stewarding. Just let me have it, all right?
Oh. But you know what Winklers should be trying to do right now is just get really close up to Styx and provide a lot of pressure. Try to force Styx into a mistake and making him make that mistake. And either that be a spin, just trying to push a little bit too aggressively, or over-rotate the car into the braking zone. And we see it catch out almost every driver here today, except for these two. And if they Winkler continues to be pressuring Styx, that could definitely happen. And so this championship is still not over. Winkler could pressure Styx into a mistake, because if Winkler gets past Styx doesn't need a fight. He doesn't need to push at all. But if he forces Styx to push or defend, then it could get interesting, because there is that mistake opportunity. But, you know, there's 7 seconds ahead of 3rd place right here. And Styx needs to be down in 5th place. He's 12 seconds ahead. For Winkler, Styx needs to be down in 5th place, which is 12 seconds behind them. So the only way that, you know, Winkler can see this if Styx makes a mistake and he ends up in the wall, or with damage at least. And so, you know, he's got to apply that pressure right here. Try to go for a few moves and just get Styx thinking on his toes, and might have a little lapse at a break point, or get a little bit too squirrely on the throttle and apply a little bit too much mustard, and hopefully it's in a bad spot.
You can see the quality of driving of these two. You know, riding aboard with Winkler, I think he's going to lose the hundredths of a second, really not losing a whole lot of time overall, but he pinpoint any mistakes he made through that part. Maybe he was a bit hesitant on the throttle through the roundabout, but you question how you can really get a whole lot faster than that. And I'm sure these drivers who maybe aren't used to this Formula Renault 2.0 car, maybe you've driven it a couple of years ago, but of course it's not driven so much in the official series now, but they've jumped into it. Now this round 8 we're seeing a very high quality of driving, at least from these two drivers, but also a few other drivers out on circuit. Winkler wants to get within that 6/10 because then he starts to get the draft. You would have seen if you're following the relative screen, or the timing tower on the left, that he's not really gaining anything down the straights once he's over 6/10 of a second behind. But once you get within 6/10, it's a huge effect. You can really be making up, 3 or 4 tenths down the front straight, and he is gaining a bit on this lap,
in that window.
100 or so up. Yeah,
He
and now
was
you can
outside
see
the
that
window.
gap coming down.
Yeah, he was outside that window on corner entry, but off the exit, he got into that window, and then he kind of took off like a rocket right here. If he really nails down this hairpin, he can really do it again, but he's outside of it, and it looks like Styx has got the better exit, and so he's going to be stuck in that bubble once again with 10 minutes remaining here in the final race. But last lap for Winkler was faster, just barely by 15 thousandths of a second.
Yeah, barely anything in it right now. And yeah, you can see that gap barely changing lap after lap after lap. Shout out to Virtual Racing School, another one of our sponsors for this series. Virtual Racing School providing data packs for 50 different cars on iRacing, and that doesn't just cover road cars but also oval cars as well, stock cars, IndyCar and co. So yeah, if you want to get faster on iRacing, if you want to use their fantastic telemetry software, which can identify where you're losing time at each circuit on an official series calendar, do visit virtualracingschool.com in order to get yourself a subscription. Just running a little wide wide, he got once again with it. Seems like in the first half of the lap he can close in, and then the second half of the lap he's just making a couple of errors, and that lockup would have overheated the left tyre, would have struggled to get into the corner, and that's kind of one of the first mistakes we've really seen from him since we started watching.
Yeah, he lost 2 tenths right there at the end of that last sector, and he is now 8 tenths behind Pascal Styx. And the more he's trying to put pressure on Styx, the more of the mistakes Winkler is actually putting on himself. But you know, he is trying everything in his power to try to race his championship rival cleanly, but also try to get into his head just a little bit. But Pascal Styx, he's seeing these mistakes right there. The person in the head more of each other. I think Styx is in the head of Winkler just a little bit more than Winkler is in the head of Styx. But I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't know what goes on in people's heads.
No, and of course, I'd probably chatting to one another in Discord. It's very difficult to take a championship fight too seriously when they're probably chatting about, I don't know, their favourite TV shows in Discord. I know what they're chatting about, or maybe Styx is very tense in that car. Of course, these guys with a lot of experience should have won titles, both of them in the past. And we should just say, congratulations to Core Sim Racing. Maybe we should have stated it earlier that they are the team champions as well for this season. Cube Racing came into this season. I mean, all these guys super high ratings. I did think that Core were going to run their baby close. Cube, two similar names. Cube have done a very good job at running their place. You can see Marin and Barb, they're up there in 3rd and 4th positions. But Core have just been too strong, and we've seen them look out the podium on multiple occasions this season. They've won the vast majority of races, and yeah, they well and truly deserve the team's championship and will be very hard to beat in any league that they enter in the future.
Well, if they were talking about favorite TV shows, I think one of them, or at least in a consideration, would be one of them at least would know about this initial lead. As this is the doctor sending it up onto the inside. Heading into one, almost makes contact with the wall, but with precision right there, the doctor up in 8th place.
Did he catch up to Russell? He, on that last lap, he was a second and a half faster on that last lap. Keeps that up, then he will catch up to Russell, but it'll be tricky. But yeah, he might just have enough time. Just a reminder as well, anyone who's recently tuned in, this is the championship finale. Styx came into this meeting with an 8-point lead. He outscored Winkler by 9 points in race 1, and so Winkler needs to win this race with Styx down in 5th place or lower in order to for him to win the title. And in the amateur championship, Glamsetzer pretty much had it already wrapped up before this meeting even started. So it's just a crowning for him. Shipley again making a bid for his cousins, and has to take back.
Yeah, that's toe back right there. And, you know, Sean Shipley, good performance so far this season, but I think that'll be the end of his season right here with just 5 minutes to go here at Long Beach. Sticks and Winkler, nose to tail with each other, separated just by 7/10. And, you know, Winkler just wants to be a little bit closer. Six, he's okay wherever Winkler is as long as he's not down in 5th place, which is 19 seconds behind him. And Pascal Six, I think he's just on a cruise and enjoying this wonderful Saturday afternoon here in beautiful sunny California at Long Beach.
Yeah, and once again, just hundredths of a second between the two of them. So evenly matched, as we've seen all season long. Marin has had really good pace, by the way, in this race too. I think Marin, of course, had a problem at the start of race 1, which kind of ruled him out. We didn't really see what his pace was, but I was not expecting him to be so quick. But had it not been that collision with Newman, he would have had a real good chance at winning this race. Shame that those two collided, otherwise we would have had a nice 4-way battle.
And while you were saying that, I just noticed something. Winkler just gained 3/10 in the first 2 sectors right here. Carl Winkler is on an absolute roll this time by, and he got within that 6/10 range as this is Sven Newman.
Oh, nice.
We got a spin. That's Philip Russell spun around, and there's the doctor getting up another spot. And oh no, and Russell's, that's a lot of damage for Philip right there. It's 220. Oh, was there contact between him and Paul? Oh, coming off the exit, he saw Paul right there, and I think he just got onto the brakes to avoid that, and that spun the car around. And Russell's car is, well, it's in tatters right there, and he's gone into the pit lane.
That's a shame. Boglerud's up into 10th. We've only got 8 cars on the lead lap now because Newman, of course, had to tow back to the pits earlier on, so he's just over a lap down. And it's a bit closer now for the lead, and crucially Winkler now well within that draft. There's no bit of him losing that anytime soon, just needs to keep it clean. And now down each of these straights he'll be gaining a few hundredths of a second. When these guys are so close, those few hundredths do make a big difference. And of course he will also be suffering a little bit with the turbulent air, but it's fairly minimal in these FR 2.0 cars, and so it should be alright. But yeah, Stick's just having a little bit of a slower lap that last time around. At 18.5, his best lap was 17.9. He's been mainly in kind of the 18.2s to 18.4s, but this lap looking a lot stronger for him. He's opening that gap back up to 6/10. Nice hairpin there for Winkler. Gap at 6.5/10, which again is right on the kind of crest, right on the line of the slipstream. And we are going to get 2 more laps in. We'll just about get 1 more lap in after this one, as long as the iRacing clock is all in operation.
Yeah, iRacing clock, 1 minute to go here, and I believe that is you know, I think that we're going to be at the edge of this might be white flag, this might not be. This is a very close, oh, that's Winkler into the wall right there. Winkler has hit the wall, chasing Pascal Stakes, coming out of the exit. He's giving it his all. You know, I think we might see Carl Winkler attempt that move that we were talking about. But, you know, he's so far back, this would be a bonsai attempt if he even tries to go for a move right here. And, you know, he's really sending on the brakes, but there's no opportunities. I think he's going to be just happy where he is and just finish behind his buddy and his teammate right here. 10 seconds left. Drag race to the line. And which flag is out right now? We're going to find out. There is one waving in the air. It's white flag this time by. You know, I thought that was going to be the race for the checkered. It is not. And now it is the race for the checkered.
Yeah, a bit closer than it was on race 1. The pace hasn't quite been as high. Of course, these guys had to kind of work their way up through the order, whereas the first one it was a bit more easy for them. Just the core guys leading it pretty much from start to finish, with Hussein in the middle. But well, this race has been really impressive from Sticks, because it's very easy to think about the championship and really not push, and especially around a street circuit, just need massive amounts of space, because after all, he can't crash. I mean, if he crashes, then he won't finish in 5th place. But he has still driven really well, as Marin has seemingly had a bit of a problem. But Sticks, nothing stopping him from the title from here.
Oh, the internet issue for Sebastian Morin, not a crash. Well, it is a crash in the sense that he's out of the race right now. But Sticks and Winkler, 1 corner to go. No send by Winkler. Well, off the exit he does. They go down to the entry, and it's a championship weave-in performance here by Pascal. He almost lost it right there. As he comes across the line with his teammate right beside. It's a 1-2 for Core Sim Racing. Pascal 6 takes the win and the championship ahead of his teammate Carl Winkler right beside him. Loic Barb takes 3rd place, and taking the amateur victory here today, it's Rickard Boberg, as his teammate Christian Glamsetter takes the amateur championship in 5th place as well. What a fantastic race by everybody here in our top 5. This is what happened to Sebastian. Internet just dropped out right here, so I think we're going to be seeing him snapped into non-existence very soon.
Yeah, here we go. He was quite well in the core cars. He was behind Newman, who of course was a lap down. And then, where is he disappearing here? This may have been previous, perhaps? I'm not quite sure. But yeah, he did disappear, did Morin, and a huge shame. But yeah, once again, big shout out to Christian Glamset. Amazing season put together by him. Runner-up, I believe, last season in the F3 Championship. And so managed to improve significantly for this season and managed to take the title quite convincingly. One of the most consistent drivers, and an absolute textbook way to take the amateur title.
Yeah, fantastic race and championship. We saw Pascal Sticks takes the victory as the core team. They're taking a victory lap as they won the team championships and the driver championships as well. They came out here with a mission and they executed it perfectly. To core 1-2, Sticks, Winkler, Barb is your podium, finishing up on 3rd, followed by Rickard Bomber, Christian Glamsetter. Navani Hussein, the Doctor, finishes in 6th, followed by Andy Moore, Sebastian Moore, and Sven Newman. Lars Fungalord finishes in 10th place. They're followed by Philip Russell, Sean Shipley, Paul Clothier, Aaron Smith, Hans Verage, Jack Breeze, Jesper Sandstrom at the end of our 17 car results as Pascal Sticks burns it down here on the front straight.
Zip. We don't usually see this, I think, at Long Beach, but they're all down there. Come on, guys, we need to see some. I've always wanted, and I've said this a few times, broadcast, someone needs to learn how to write words with these burnouts. I'm sure it's possible. I mean, it's much easier to write words than do what they've just done over the last 25 minutes.
If you've seen Talladega Nights, there is some fantastic word writing with tires.
I think, yeah, I do remember that. Maybe that's where I got the idea from. But yeah, learning.
Now, was it real? No. If it's real, no. Not at all. But I would for sure love to see that.
Could easily write. So he could write in Spanish. Frankly, could that guy? A sentence, I'm sure, with some burnouts. I mean, someone just needs to put some effort in. Maybe I'll do that. And I'll show you how easy it can be done.
All right, everyone, you heard this open contest here. Submit your best name writing via burnouts on the iRacing Centrifugal Circuit and send them over to Sam Fitzpatrick or Apex Racing TV, and the best burnout signer might win a prize.
I will happily give £3 to someone who impresses me on that.
All right.
So,
Sam, what's your Twitter?
come on, guys. Big prize. Big prize.
But yeah,
Don't
what a
forget.
fantastic championship. We were waiting for our drivers to hop in here and talk about their championship. We know we are waiting for 2 right now. But Sam, currently, how would you run down this championship?
I think it's been hugely entertaining. I think the fact that we've had, I think we said this at the mid-season point as well, in the pros in particular, we've had 6 or 7 drivers, most races, be in with a chance. You know, when you've had Hussein, you've had Newman, Winkler, you've had the Cube guys of Marin and Barb, yeah, of course, all the core guys, and then we've had 8 or so drivers, I think, taking wins so far this season or across the season in only about 20 races or so. I think it's been amazing. Even Jack Reeve got a race win. Of course, what a moment that was as well. And of course, the amateurs as well. We've had plenty different race winners as well. So just really pleased with how competitive this season has been. We haven't had any runaway winners. And even the guys who didn't come close to a title, many races across the season were really able to take it to the top guys. It's been great to see.
It's been fantastic to see, but there is only one standing above them all. It's the Le Champion of the Apex Racing Academy Formula Renault 2.0 Championship. It's Pascal Sticks.
Oh, thanks, guys. It's great. Great to win it.
Pascal, what a fantastic race. Both of your races today, you knew exactly where you needed to be. Race number 1, you and Newman were racing together, and while you were on the grid, we were kind of debating if Sven Newman and you had a little bit of agreement he was gonna be in between y'all, but it looks like that all of you were racing each other no matter what.
He was still fighting for third, I think, in the championship, so it was all out for him. I tried to be a bit conservative, to not crash. That was the most important thing, but somehow I still managed to finish second and first, and I think I won the day, so I don't know. Couldn't have finished the season in a better way, I think.
It absolutely couldn't have finished in a better way. Taking the win and taking the championship, it's going to be an absolute fantastic celebration, I know, between you and your teammates, because we saw that 3-car salute. Your team, everyone at Core Sim Racing, are going to be celebrating a giant team championship as well.
Yes, that was also a really, really big thing for us to get, and I think we managed to pretty much run away with it, which is so great to see. It's just I want to thank Carl and Sven, who've been such great teammates and really helped push me, and really pushed each other to go for the wins all the time and practice. Makes it so much fun.
It really looked like a lot of fun. And speaking of fun, it's the end of the championships, end of the season. What was your favorite moment of this entire season?
Ooh, that's a hard question. Probably the all-over championship win. So last race. That's the one.
It's definitely not Monza.
Yeah, it was an interesting moment, to say the least.
All right. Well, hey, the best win is always the last win, and it's also the sweetest one where you can lift not only 1 but 2 trophies here. The championship one and the race winner one. So congratulations, Pascal, on the championship and the race win. Before we let you go and celebrate with your teammates, anyone you want to thank?
Again, just want to thank my teammates. We always work together on the setup. We talk about strategies together. Then, if we have to, we work together in the race, and it just makes it so much fun.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, Le Champion, Pascal. You have yourself a good afternoon. We're standing by with Sam Fitzpatrick.
Yes, and I think we're going to be able to have a chat with our runner-up now. Carl Winkler joins us in the commentary box. Bad luck out there, Carl. Close to the title, I think just 24 points in it in the end, but I guess there's no one else that you'd rather lose a title to.
Well, if I can choose, then of course to a teammate. Yeah, I don't think it was bad luck. Pascal was like the better man in the deciding moments, I would say. So pace-wise, we were pretty equal all season long. I had pretty good qualifyings. He had better starts, but like in Okayama and also today, when it really matters, he didn't make the mistakes, but I did. So it's all deserved for him for the title. Yeah, maybe I will give it a shot next time or next season again.
Definitely. It was a really exciting race out there tonight because, you know, that race 1, you had a good battle with Hussein, and then that race 2, I think you had a battle with, yeah, pretty much everyone. I mean, it looked like a lot of fun. I mean, this circuit doesn't necessarily lend itself to overtaking, but you guys were making it possible.
Well, second race, I knew I have to go like aggressive. Normally I don't do that, but in that case I had, because even within the point standings, even if I throw the car into the wall, I know P2 is safe. So I really tried. I don't know if Sebastian was like early on the break, so I was just too late, but when I outbroke myself, it was pretty much done. And then I had Pascal in front of me. Well, you don't want to take him out in that regard or try something stupid. And I never get into a situation where I really could do a move, so in the end it was all fine. He never did a mistake.
Was it a little bit, were you guys chatting on Discord during the race? Because I know it's almost a little bit odd when you're, you know, in a very tight championship battle, and yet of course you got direct communication with your rival. What were you guys, you know, chatting in the race? Was it any different to normal?
It was a bit different. Also, yes, we did chat in every race, Sven, Pascal, and myself. Like when you look into the Red Bull Ring or the Nürburgring, or like the early races, you always see that sometimes we just back off and don't go for a move, so we call it in the team speak. Depending on the race situation, and if it's like you are P1 and P2, it's like a couple of laps to go, and you have the gap to P3, and then you just go for it and you call it like, okay, now we're gonna race. Like we did in Barcelona, for example, and the first time now for Okayama and also for today for Long Beach, it was a bit different because we said up front it's all out and everyone drives for himself. So the communication was less. It was just about for today, for example, when there was a spinning car ahead or something that you call there's a spinner on the right side or something like that. But apart from that, it was pretty quiet.
Well, congratulations on the runner-up spots. I mean, what's planned next for Core Sim Racing? What series are you going to be entering in the near future?
Good question. I think Sven will pretty much drive the GT trophy again. For Pascal and myself, we need to have a look, but F3 might be interesting. But I think at the later stage, when the Formula Renault gives it the second season, I think I will give it a shot just to try to improve myself by one position.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing you back. Carl, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I think Pascal, because it's his day and he's a deserved winner of this season. Of course, to you guys, always a pleasure to watch the stream afterwards. I think you're doing a great job, so keep it up. And apart from that, also my team had a bit of a break in sim racing, but now I'm back, and it's like always as fun as it was before. So it's like a pleasure to drive, and I hope it will stay like that.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having a chat with us, and we'll see you back very soon on Apex Racing TV.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Carl Winkler there, your runner-up in Race 2 tonight and runner-up in the championship as well. So I think we might have time for maybe one more interview.
Yeah, we do have a chance for one more interview, and you know, it's been a season-long thing. We've been trying to talk with Philip Russell, who, you know, he's had a pretty alright day, but hey, let's talk with Philip once more and see if we have him standing by with us. Philip, how are you feeling?
I'm great. You've actually got me this week. You've actually got me. Yeah. The last race of the week at the season, obviously you grabbed me, so that's great.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the secret sauce is that I'm actually interviewing you now instead of
Sam. Yeah, must be.
Well, Philip, it was the final race of the season. This entire season has been an up and down roller coaster for you so far. But how would you adapting to Long Beach?
It's been a tricky day, to be fair. I mean, obviously I had 2 pit lane starts after the penalties from last week with some major internet issues. Where obviously, I don't know if you've seen the picture on our Discord chat. There's a bit of net code which caused me to hit someone, but it is what it is. But yeah, it was a tough one to start from the pit lane. Race 1 managed to get through the field and keep out of trouble. I think I got P8, which was like second in class, so I'll take that. My main aim was obviously just to drive very slowly today, take the points, and try and get the top 3 in the championship. So yeah, race 2 was very much the same, but unfortunately, I think it was Paul Clouthier came out the pits, and I was expecting him to stay to the right, but he came across, and I lost the rear in turn 1. So yeah, a bit gutted about that one, but hey ho, it's one of those things, and I think I might have secured third, but we'll see later on today.
You have.
I have. Oh, that's great to hear.
Well, Philip, it was a fantastic season for you. Not the best results today, but as you're saying, it's been a tough race for you, and as long as you're having fun, that's the most important part. Before I let you go, Philip, and enjoy the rest of your day, and go cheer on George tomorrow. Anyone you want to thank?
Obviously, final race of the season. I want to thank you guys. Organisation of the whole championship has been absolutely spot on, and obviously the commentary. You guys have been spot on as well. I love watching back the streams after the races just to see how the races went. Obviously, outside of my point of view. But yeah, you always do a top-notch job, and yeah, thank you for that. And final thank you is to my team, Team Fordzilla. Again, continue to support me throughout all my championships. Even when they're going bad, they still give me that support. So yeah, thanks to them as well.
That's always the best feeling. Thank you, Philip. You have yourself a great afternoon. Sam, any final thoughts?
Just looking forward to season 2. What a good car this is. So yeah, looking forward to that, and yeah, thanks to all the drivers for reviving this car. I don't think many people were totally convinced we were going to get such a good field of drivers this season, but the Formula Renault 2.0 is still extremely good car, and yeah, hopefully we get a second season.
Absolutely, a second season of this might be on the horizon very soon. Thank you everybody for tuning in and watching the final race of the Apex Racing Academy for the Renault 2.0 Championship here on Apex Racing TV. I've been joined by Sam Fitzpatrick and Marco Bombarderi, who was in the production booth, and I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.